Day 2 of Operation Epic Fury. And the first thing I have to tell you is something I hoped I would not have to say this early. 3 American service members are dead tonight, killed in action in Kuwait. 5 more are seriously wounded. Several others took shrapnel and concussions. Their names have not been released. The Pentagon is giving their families 24 hours before the world finds out who they were. I want to pause on that for a moment, because behind those numbers are 3 families who got the knock on their door today. 3 homes in America where someone answered and heard the words that every military family prays they will never hear. These men and women volunteered. They raised their right hand and swore an oath, and today they gave the last full measure. Whatever your opinion on this operation, those 3 Americans deserve your respect and your prayers tonight. President Trump said on NBC, "We expect casualties with something like this, but in the end it is going to be a great deal for the world." He also said, "We are doing this not for now. We are doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission." Now let me tell you what happened on the battlefield while those 3 soldiers gave their lives. 9 Iranian warships, destroyed and sitting at the bottom of the sea. Iran's naval headquarters, largely gone. The IRGC headquarters, leveled, and CENTCOM released the video of it being hit. B-2 Spirit stealth bombers dropped 1-ton bunker-busting bombs on Iran's fortified ballistic missile facilities. And CENTCOM posted something I have never seen from a military command. They wrote, "The IRGC killed more than 1,000 Americans over the past 47 years. Yesterday, a large-scale U.S. strike cut off the head of the snake. America has the most powerful military on Earth, and the IRGC no longer has a headquarters. Cut off the head of the snake. That is a military command telling the world, we came here to finish this." Welcome to the Sand Table. This is briefing number 13. Subscribe if you are new here. This channel has covered every hour of this operation from the first bomb, and we are not stopping. Now let me take you somewhere that no other channel is going to take you, behind the intelligence curtain, because today we learned something that changes the entire story of how this operation began. The New York Times reported, and ABC News independently confirmed, that the CIA had been tracking Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's movements for months before the strike. Not days, not weeks, months. American intelligence had mapped his routines, his security rotations, the patterns of his compound. Then came the moment. Intelligence detected that a meeting of Iran's top leaders was being organized for Saturday morning. Khamenei, senior IRGC commanders, intelligence chiefs, all converging on one location. When the CIA learned about that meeting, they moved the timing of the entire operation. The original strike schedule was accelerated to catch Iran's leadership gathered together. An 86-year-old man who had ruled for 36 years, who built a security apparatus designed specifically to prevent exactly this, walked into a meeting room and was dead before the sirens started, because American intelligence had been standing outside that door for months, waiting for exactly that moment. Iran confirmed his death on state television this morning. 40 days of mourning. An interim leadership council formed. But assembling a council and governing a country under bombardment are 2 very different things. Now I want to talk about something that reveals Iran's position more than any casualty figure: the propaganda war. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps went on state media and announced that they struck the USS Abraham Lincoln with ballistic missiles. If true, it would be the first time in history a ballistic missile hit an active U.S. aircraft carrier. It would rewrite naval warfare. CENTCOM responded within the hour. They did not say incorrect. They did not say unconfirmed. One word, lie, in capital letters. Then, the Lincoln was not hit. The missiles did not even come close. The Lincoln continues to launch aircraft in support of CENTCOM's relentless campaign. When a military fabricates victories, it means they do not have real ones. Iran is firing in every direction: Israel, Bahrain, Dubai, Qatar, and the one target that would actually matter, the carrier, they cannot touch. So they invented it. And CENTCOM called them out in front of the entire world. That is not a correction. That is psychological warfare. And while Iran was lying about the Lincoln, the U.S. was doing something to Iran's Navy that is hard to overstate. Trump posted, "I have just been informed that we have destroyed and sunk 9 Iranian naval ships, some of them relatively large and important. We are going after the rest. They will soon be floating at the bottom of the sea. In a different attack, we largely destroyed their naval headquarters. Other than that, their Navy is doing very well." That last line, "other than that, their Navy is doing very well." Trump is openly mocking a military being systematically dismantled. CENTCOM confirmed that an Iranian Jamaran-class corvette, one of their most capable surface combatants, was struck at a pier in Chabahar and is currently sinking. Not hit while fighting, hit while docked. The intelligence picture is so clear that American forces are picking off ships at anchor. Iran had roughly 45 to 50 surface vessels before this weekend. 9 sunk in 36 hours, 20% of the fleet. If this pace continues, Iran may have no functioning navy by the end of the week. Now the weapon that changed the calculus overnight. CENTCOM confirmed that B-2 Spirit stealth bombers carrying 1-ton penetrating munitions struck Iran's hardened ballistic missile facilities. CENTCOM's words: "No nation should ever doubt America's resolve." Each B-2 costs over $2 billion. It flies from Missouri to anywhere on Earth, delivers its payload, and returns before the target country knows it was there. Iran spent decades burying its missile production underground, reinforcing bunkers with concrete and steel, specifically to survive American airstrikes. Last night, 1-ton bunker busters went through those defenses. This matters because Iran's retaliation depends entirely on missiles. Last June, the U.S. hit 3 nuclear facilities. Iran rebuilt within weeks. This time, the U.S. is not hitting the missiles. It is destroying the factories that make the missiles, and the bunkers protecting those factories. That is not degrading a capability, that is eliminating one. Netanyahu released a video statement today unlike anything we have heard from an Israeli prime minister. He said, "Yesterday we eliminated dictator Khamenei. Along with him, we neutralized dozens of senior regime figures. Our forces are striking the heart of Tehran with increasing power, and in the coming days it will intensify." Then he acknowledged the cost. He said, "These are painful days. Yesterday in Tel Aviv and now in Beit Shemesh, we lost precious people. A synagogue in Beit Shemesh was hit by an Iranian missile today. 9 Israelis killed, 45 wounded, 11 still missing under rubble. The deadliest single strike on Israeli soil since this operation began." Then came the defining line. Netanyahu said, "This alliance with the United States, with my friend President Donald Trump, allows us to do what I have wished to do for 40 years, to inflict a devastating defeat on the terror regime." 40 years. He has been arguing for this since the 80s. Every prime minister before him was told it was too risky. Now, in one weekend, it is happening, with American B-2s and Tomahawks backing it up. The question every American is asking is how long? Trump gave 2 statements today. He told NBC, "We can do the short version or the long version. That is strategic ambiguity." He is telling Iran the length of this war is their choice. Then he told the Daily Mail, "The war is estimated to last 4 weeks or less. No matter how strong, it is a big country. 4 weeks or less." 4 weeks, a defined timeline from a sitting president. The Pentagon has a campaign plan with phases and an end state. This is not open-ended. But what should make Iran's interim leadership very nervous? Trump said Iran's new leaders have already reached out. His words, "They want to talk, and I have agreed to talk. They should have done it sooner." And when asked who replaces Khamenei, Trump said, "I do not know, but at some point they will be calling me to ask who I would like." Then he added, "I am only being a little sarcastic." Zoom out. This is no longer about one country. The UAE released defense numbers today. Since Saturday, 165 ballistic missiles, 2 cruise missiles, 541 drones launched at the Emirates alone, 152 ballistic missiles intercepted, 506 drones intercepted, 35 drones got through, 3 foreign workers killed, a hotel on Palm Jumeirah hit, a French military hangar near Abu Dhabi damaged. In Israel, the IRGC launched True Promise 4. The deadliest impact hit the Beit Shemesh synagogue. Israel's Air Force responded, 1,200 munitions across 24 Iranian provinces in a single day. In Pakistan, hundreds stormed the U.S. consulate in Karachi. Police fired, 9 dead, 50 wounded. Gulf markets collapsed. Saudi down 4%, Egypt down 5.4%. Kuwait suspended trading. Abu Dhabi and Dubai did not open. KLM canceled all Middle East flights until March 5th. Schools across the Gulf went remote. And this is all happening at the start of Ramadan. The U.S. ordered all personnel and families out of Bahrain. The embassy in Jerusalem closed. Ben Gurion shut down. And Oman's foreign minister, the man who brokered every round of talks, said today the door to diplomacy is still open. The sooner negotiations restart, the better. Here is the analysis. Iran's strategy for 47 years rested on deterrence. Attack us and the cost will be unbearable. That deterrence had 4 pillars: the missile arsenal, the Navy, the IRGC command structure, the supreme leader himself. In 36 hours, all 4 have been hit. Missile factories cratered, Navy sinking, IRGC headquarters rubble, Supreme Leader dead. Iran fired back at 7 countries, hit a synagogue, a hotel, killed 3 Americans. But did not sink a single ship, did not destroy a single airbase, did not stop a single sortie off the Lincoln. The question is no longer whether Iran can win this war. The question is whether the new leadership understands that quickly enough to stop the bleeding, or whether pride drives them to keep firing until there is nothing left. Trump said 4 weeks. Oman said the door is open. Somewhere between those 2 statements is where this war ends. 3 Americans gave their lives today. They deserve to be honored. And the best way to honor them is to make sure the world understands what they fought for and what their sacrifice made possible. This is day 2. If the president is right, there are 26 more to go. Subscribe, hit the bell, share this with someone who needs to understand what is happening. Tell me in the comments, does Iran come to the table or do they keep fighting? I will see you at the next briefing.